Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Love to Love Lifestyle. For those of you who are here for the first time, I just want to say welcome. And for those of you who are returning, I just want to say thank you. So this is my video on my 5 tips for traveling. But before we get started, just want to encourage you guys to press that like button. I'm going to try to get this video to 50 likes. Alright, so let's get started. So my first tip for traveling, if you really want to travel and it's your dream to travel, my first tip for you is to make sure that you have in your possession a valid passport. Now I made sure to get mine with extra pages so that I don't have to keep going back to get new ones. It's very important for you to have a passport, especially if your plan is to travel somewhere where you're leaving the country. There's some countries who their rules are you have to have your passport that has at least 6 months of validity on it, so make sure that your passport is valid and preferably valid for over 6 months from the date you are traveling. So yeah, that's the first thing. I know some people may think that it's a headache to go out and get it, but if you just commit to it and say, yeah, I'm gonna just set this day aside to go in and go and get that passport, then it will make your traveling plans go a lot smoother. Okay, so my tip number 2 for traveling is to research. Find out where you want to travel to and get really excited about it, and do your research into what you want to do when you get there and so forth, so you have an idea of where you want to go. Also find out what time of the year you want to go to these places. Keep in mind that places like, if you're in the US, places like Australia or South Africa may have different seasons from what you're going through in the States. So know what season you're going there, and if they have a rainy season or so forth, and know what you want to do there so you're there at the prime time. Or even if you don't want to be there at the prime time, maybe you want to visit some place that can generally be very expensive, and you want to go where it's more budget friendly, so you might want to go just before the peak season starts or just after it's finished, where you can still enjoy the location, but you're not there when it's high priced. So that was my tip number 2. Tip number 3 is, once you've picked your location, make sure you do your research on the country itself, and their rules and guidelines and so forth. Like for instance, traveling to the Maldives, you see beautiful pictures from the Maldives, and people are like, frolicking on the beach in their bathing suits and so forth. What many people seem to forget or not realize is that the Maldives is a Muslim country, and for the public beaches and so forth, two-piece bathing suits are not allowed. So if you're going and you're thinking, okay, I'm gonna buy all these bathing suits, I'm gonna be on the beach all day, but you don't have a private resort, you have a hotel that has a public beach that you have access to, then that will be a problem when you get there. So do your research on countries, find out what's acceptable in these countries, and go there to have fun, not to go and break rules and get into trouble. So if that's the type of vacation you want, then go for it. But if you just want to enjoy yourself and get back home safely, try to just get as much knowledge about a place as you can beforehand. Okay, so my tip number 4, yeah, I think I'm at 4, is to get a friend. If you're afraid to travel alone, find a friend who you can find that's equally committed into traveling as you are, or equally committed into taking this jump into the traveling spree as you are, and set your date for the trip that you want to do together and get excited about it. Start setting budgets and save for it. You don't have to go out partying or clubbing every single weekend. You can skip a weekend or two and put that money aside, and then you can enjoy your clubbing or your partying in Thailand or in Australia, in South America, and that will be a better experience, I would say, because you do value home and you value your home time, but I feel that you get a better experience, or you get a better view on life when you get to kind of step outside of your hometown and step outside of your comfort zone, and see the world from a different view, and it usually brings growth as well. Okay, so my tip number 5. This is for people who are really uncomfortable, leaving their comfort zone, and you get anxious if you feel like you don't know where you're going and it's a new place for you. My tip for you is to go old school. Get a travel agent and have go to a travel agent. Tell them exactly the type of vacation you're looking for and the type of places you want to travel, and they can help you. Pick your destination that you're going to go to. They can help set up your flight. They can set up the cars that pick you up when you get there, that brings you to your hotel, so you don't get anxiety from the unknown. They kind of have their connections in certain countries, so that way you get there and everything runs smoothly. Make sure you do your research on these agencies, and look at reviews. I suggest you look at reviews for your travel agency if you're using one, or your hotels, whichever one you're going to. Read reviews. They're very helpful, and don't just read the good reviews, read the bad as well. I tend to read both types of reviews and kind of gauge, because some people can be extra dramatic and be a bit too much when they're reviewing it. They take things a bit too personal and can go in a bit too harsh. Or some people, the way they set up their trip was exceptional, or maybe the hotel was targeting them because they know that, okay, this person is high presence in social media or so forth, so they really go over the top to kind of make them feel welcome and so forth. So kind of gauge the reviews and kind of see what's in the middle or in between on on the review scope. So read the great, read the terrible, and find your comfort zone somewhere in the middle. Also look at the number of reviews. If a place has 5 stars on reviews and they only have 2 reviews, that's not a good thing. But if they have 1,000 reviews written on them and they have 5 stars, then that's a better understanding of what you might be getting yourself into. So that's for my people who have a bit of anxiety when it comes to traveling. Having travel agency help you out can be a really good tool for you to use, even though there's not many of them now in our internet days now, and also internet sites. Don't be afraid to use them. I like using Agoda. I use Expedia. I use Travelocity. I usually I start researching around tickets and see what prices are being offered, and compare them to peak seasons and so forth, and that's how I make my decision. So really put some time in, do your research, get excited, know what you're going there to see and what you're going there to experience, and yeah. Okay guys, so that was my top 5 tips for travel. Please comment below with any tips you may have. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. As always, live your life and love it, and until next time, bon voyage.